Hi there guys, I hope you are having a good day. Now, Deontay Wilder has reiterated his claims from a few years ago that he'd done enough to win the first Tyson Fury fight, and if not on points, then Tyson Fury should have been counted out after that drop in the 12th round. Now, we've seen Wilder go over this a lot, over the second Fury fight and the first one. To be honest, I would rather he moved on and spoke about the big fights that could be in the future of his career. That is what is exciting. I don't want to see Deontay Wilder leave the sport. I don't want to see him retire. I want to see him in some big fights. Now, regarding those claims towards Tyson Fury, or not even towards Tyson Fury, they came in the second fight, but claims that the fight should have been stopped, and he believes that he definitely won. Of course, there is always a case with regards to counts going towards 10, because of course, if a fighter beats the count, then they can continue. The argument is Tyson Fury didn't. He should have been counted out and stopped it there and then. The thing is you can say about that is Tyson Fury did get up, and it is a referee's count to 10, and Jack Reese wasn't yet at 10 when Tyson Fury had got to his feet. He was up at around 9. I mean, it was close, I guess we can say that, but you get this in boxing. It's a close decision. Everything comes down to the wire, especially in world title fights. Plus, in the build up to the fight, in the changing rooms before the fighters went out, I heard Jack Reese say to Tyson Fury, if there is a knockdown, I'm going to give you every chance you have to continue, every chance. I would imagine he said the same to Deontay Wilder, although Wilder never hit the deck in that fight. He did in the second one, but not in the first one. So, considering that, he was willing to give Tyson Fury every opportunity to get back to his feet. Many referees would have waved it off when Tyson Fury went down, but Jack Reese dropped to his knees to look into the eyes of Tyson Fury, who was blinking at him, letting him know that his intention was to get back to his feet, and he was okay. Tyson Fury said that when he was down, he couldn't feel his legs straight away. His legs weren't under him, so he didn't try to get to his feet, and he didn't stumble when he got up. He made sure that his feet would be under him when he did try to get to his feet. That was kind of the reason why he stayed down for a longer count. That is one good thing you should do if you are experienced enough to do it with fighters at Tyson Fury's level, is to take the count. There are 10 seconds there, but you have to be up before that 10-second mark. If you can, take every second you need to recover. Paulie Malignaggi done something very interesting during his career. He said what he would do is when he was knocked down, he would go to the farthest corner away from his opponent, so they'd have to travel further to get to him to try and knock him out, which is incredible considering he's just been knocked down by an opponent, and his first intention is to get to his feet and go as far away from his opponent so that they have further to travel to get to him. And those are the kind of things at world level that can make all the difference. I'm just surprised that he had enough about him to realise that that will help him slightly. It is about fine margins, and there is always going to be controversy over a referee. Imagine if Jack Reese had stopped the fight there and then, and Tyson Fury got to his feet and he was okay. It would be the other way around. He shouldn't have stopped the fight. Tyson Fury was up before 10 seconds, so he was able to continue. So no matter what he does in that situation, he is going to come under scrutiny, because there is a case where you could say Tyson Fury didn't beat the count, or he would have beaten the count if Jack Reese had stopped it on that night. I believe he made the right choice, and if Wilder was good enough, then he would have stopped Tyson Fury. I mean, Tyson Fury is a world elite level fighter, so he's not going to be someone who's just going to stay down and take a loss. When it gets tough in there, Tyson Fury raises his game. So he was back on his feet and nearly stopped Deontay Wilder in the closing moments of that fight. So that proved that he was okay to continue, therefore he should have been allowed to continue. He beat the 10-second count given by the referee, so the fight goes on. Now, with regards to the scorecards, do we believe that Deontay Wilder has a case to say he won it on those scorecards? I don't believe we can make a case for that. You can make a case for Tyson Fury to have won it, because you could argue that the only rounds that Wilder won was those in which he knocked Tyson Fury down. And in boxing, you lose a point for getting knocked down. You don't necessarily make it a 10-8 round just because of that fact. You lose a point. So we have to question also, did Tyson Fury win that final round? That could be up for dispute. That 9th round as well, did Tyson Fury win it? Again, could hang in the balance. I would say that Deontay Wilder won a total of 2 or 3 rounds in the entire fight, being generous, because he was conclusively outboxed. The interesting thing about this fight also is the punch stats. Those stats are extremely low, especially in the early stages of the fight. In fact, throughout the fight, they are very low for a contest of this magnitude. So that showed that Tyson Fury was obviously going to be tentative because he was boxing off the back foot. So he was kind of making sure that Deontay Wilder was forcing the action and he was countering him. So he was being elusive. It was never his intention to go on the front foot and go after Deontay Wilder. It was sure his intention in the second fight, but not in the first one. So Wilder was going after Fury, but he was also very skeptical about letting his hands go because obviously then he would give away his position, and as soon as he does that, he knows he's going to get countered. So that made him skeptical, whereas Deontay Wilder is often eager to land, which was very important in this fight also because Tyson Fury was going to force him to give up his balance and positioning, something that Wilder did not want to do, and that is why the punch stats were quite low in the early stages of the fight. The reason why it was so entertaining is because anything can happen at any moment. So the anticipation factor as to what might happen next almost became the entertainment value of this entire fight because there wasn't necessarily a lot happening, but there was at the same time. Not many punches were being thrown, but there was a lot going on. We didn't know what might happen next, and that is why it was so exciting and why there was so much anticipation built up around this event. So all in all, I don't believe that Deontay Wilder has a case to say that he won on the judges' scorecards. I believe that Jack Reese did do the right thing because Tyson Fury was okay to continue. He did beat the count that the referee gave, so therefore he was free to continue. As I said before at the start, I would like to see Deontay Wilder go past this now, and it is exciting. Undisputed is happening this year, so forget about Tyson Fury, forget about Anthony Joshua, think about the fights that could happen. Dillian Whyte, Andy Ruiz, Alexander Povetkin, Usyk, Joe Joyce, the winner of that fight. There are many big fights that can be made for Deontay Wilder. Those are the things he should be focusing on. Tyson Fury AJ are tied up for the entirety of 2021. So until 2022 or 2023 after potential mandatories, he should be focusing on the top 10, top 5 heavyweights that he can face. And that, in my opinion, is a very exciting prospect for Deontay Wilder in the future, those fights. I like the idea of him going for the winner of Dillian Whyte versus Povetkin, but also Andy Ruiz as well, because that one is more likely, they are on the same platform, so that is probably the easier fight to make. Guys, anyway, what are your thoughts on this? Make sure you leave your thoughts in the comments below, leave a thumbs up, and subscribe if you are new. Thanks guys.